Imagine a time when the world was silent, when diplomatic cables failed, and world leaders issued nothing but hollow condemnations. In that vacuum, one group decided to choose action over apathy. They weren't soldiers. They weren't a government. They were doctors, lawyers, students, and parliamentarians from over 40 nations who put their lives, their freedom, and their boats on the line to sail into one of the most volatile stretches of water on Earth. Their mission was simple: deliver food to the starving. Their goal was monumental: break an 18-year naval blockade. This is the story of the Global Sumud Flotilla, the largest civilian maritime confrontation in history. It is a story about the desperate power of a single Arabic word, sumud, meaning steadfastness or resilience, and what happens when ordinary people decide the moral stakes are too high for silence. The flotilla did not launch in a vacuum. It was the direct, inevitable result of a long, massive failure of international governance. For nearly 2 decades, the maritime blockade had choked the life out of the territory, controlling all essential goods, fuel, and materials. Following the recent conflicts, the situation spiraled into a catastrophic humanitarian crisis, pushing the region to the brink of famine. World governments, paralyzed by geopolitics and bureaucratic inertia, failed to establish.
The logistics were astounding, but their message was legally and morally specific. They were challenging the blockade as a form of collective punishment under international law, and they were armed only with food, medical supplies, and cameras. The journey itself became an act of pure defiance. Starting from ports like Barcelona, convoys joined from Tunis and Italy. As they sailed, the flotilla's leaders enforced a strict, crucial code: absolute nonviolence. Every participant was trained to remain passive, even if met with force. This was a mission of civil resistance at sea. Crucially, their most powerful tool was transparency. Organizers used advanced tracking and constant live streams via social media, turning the vast, lonely sea into a global digital theater. Whatever happened, they were determined that the world would witness it in real time. As the flotilla approached the designated high-risk zone, the international waters bordering the contested coast, the political temperature soared. The Israeli Navy issued repeated warnings, calling the mission a provocation. But the activists understood their symbolic purpose went beyond the cargo. They were challenging the legitimacy of the control zone itself. Accepting the alternative aid channels would mean validating the very blockade they had risked everything to defy. The climax arrived in the darkness. Dozens of naval vessels, vastly outnumbering the civilian fleet, surrounded the flotilla. The music cuts to the sound of powerful engines, amplified commands, and the blinding sweep of searchlights. The confrontation was captured live, activists chanting their resolve before the video feeds abruptly cut out. The military forces began the interceptions, boat by boat, miles from shore. The immediate goal, unhindered aid delivery, had been halted. The largest civilian fleet in history was taken into custody. Yet, the moment the feeds went dark, the true impact of the flotilla was unleashed.
The organizers claimed a profound victory in the face of their immediate failure. The interception triggered a massive wave of worldwide protests. Governments from Spain and Turkey issued sharp condemnations. The detention of high-profile figures ignited political firestorms, forcing diplomatic crises in real time. Crucially, the legal teams aboard the vessels, who had meticulously documented the entire operation, ensured the confrontation would move from the sea to the courtroom, with evidence destined for the International Court of Justice. The Global Sumud Flotilla proved a critical modern truth. In the age of digital media and global civil society, physical power alone is no longer enough to maintain silence. The act of defiance, captured and broadcast, became more potent than the cargo itself. The mission established a new precedent for citizen action. It showed that when state actors fail to uphold international norms, a powerful, determined, nonviolent coalition of global citizens can force accountability. Though the boats were towed away, the spirit of Sumud, steadfastness, remains at sea, guaranteeing that the world will not forget the crisis on those shores. The story is not about the end of a voyage, but the beginning of a continuous challenge. Because as long as the crisis persists, the people who believe in humanity's obligation will keep coming back, armed with nothing but food, medicine, and the unwavering resolve of their conscience. If this story of moral courage resonated with you, hit the like button and share this video. Do you believe civilian action can succeed where governments have failed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the real, untold stories shaping our world today, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Thank you for watching.